To Taylor, Save Our County. I want to say this is not about sides. It's about the county abiding by its own law. Your representative did not quote actual law that I know of that justifies ignoring all the impacts that have been brought up by the public. Some of the information provided by staff and the applicant actually appears to be deceptive. And I mentioned when the this is the original, the applicant of Dollar General, when she stated the equivalent to X amount of full-time employees, meaning part-time employees. I would say she's very good at crafting words to confuse the public. I ask that the county and government and staff use your discretion to protect that public and discern the things that could be harmful to the public in this project. By continuing to ignore your own general plan, zoning ordinances, historic and design control districts, county regulations, you are being derelict in your duties and abusing your discretionary powers. I'll bring up some points if you have not had time to read a few of the impacts that have been brought up throughout this project. This is basic, I really hit on the historical design requirement for this building. I mean, this building is basically a box with a facade, and it has a loading dock between the building and Main Street. They're not showing you that in those pretty pictures. And I actually, I don't appreciate these pictures being strategically placed, and I would ask that you change the screen so that we can look at the site plan, so that you can see where that loading dock is located. I'd appreciate that. To allow this project, 3 Main Street parcels will have to be merged, which on typical historic Main Streets, that's not usually the case. And these are some of your own policies that I don't see are being adhered to. In General Plan Policy 7522, E, in cases where new buildings construction is placed next to a historic building or structure in a designated HDCD, which I'm told this is, which is a Historic Design Control District, the architectural design of the new construction shall generally conform to the historic period of significance of the HDCD or listed property. I think you've been given pictures of what that property looked like and the structures that were there, and surrounding this property are Victorian structures. I think I had one other policy. Policy 7523, new buildings and reconstruction in historic communities shall generally conform to the types of architecture prevalent in the gold mining area of California during the period of 1850 and 1910. Again, this building or structure does not adhere to those guidelines. And reading through the actual design guidelines, the only thing that I saw that was compliant with that was probably I think there's some board on bat on this structure. The parking is supposed to be behind the building. The building's supposed to be up against. Have you ever walked down a historic Main Street? They don't look like that. Other issues aside from the historic design is a septic issue, and I think a lot of that was covered by others, but I'll just read. This is per Greg Stanton of your Director of Environmental Health. After evaluating the information gained from the site evaluation, a determination was made that a standard septic system could not be utilized for this project. Salem Engineering discussed alternatives with Fred Stanford, who advised that an on-site wastewater treatment system for the subject project must have an advanced treatment system to reduce the BOD, suspended solids, and preferably the nitrogen content of the treated wastewater effluent before discharge to the subsurface disposal system. Advanced treatment system is a general term for any wastewater treatment system that is different from the conventional model and typically incorporates treatment units that include media filters and aerobic systems. Per Greg Stanton, he said, at the present time, this is a proposal in concept and has not yet been approved for installation by this division. I don't know how you can move forward with this project when you're allowing for a type of system that's not approved by your own policies. And if you are approving it, according to the general plan you just adopted, you are going to be violating that general plan. And then noise, I was reading through some of the documents. The original study for noise was studied on a 5-ton HVAC unit, and then it was corrected to 3 7.5-ton plus 1-ton units that would be running 24/7 across from a residential bed and breakfast. I don't think the noise level of those HVAC units has been significantly mitigated. Dollar General is also known to sell lead products, and I feel like they've been cited for this numerous times, and I think you're therefore introducing hazardous product and materials into Georgetown. And lastly, I will say, location of such a large box store in the middle of a historic Georgetown is inappropriate. The parcels should not be allowed to be merged. Denying the combining of the parcels would invalidate this project and keep the integrity of historic Main Street. I would ask that this mitigated negative declaration be rejected and the project be rejected until a properly written environmental impact report can be composed that will comply with CEQA and the El Dorado County General Plan and other county ordinances and requirements. In absence to this, I think the board has enough information from this and previous testimony to flatly deny this project. Thank you.